It's still early, so I haven't opened the curtains yet. It's only like 5 o'clock in the morning. I got up early again today. It was like, oh man, I was just so uncomfortable. And I knew as soon as I got off the couch and went and laid on my bed, then she would wake up. I don't know, it's like psychic. And so anyways, I have a whole bunch of things that I wanted to talk about, so I don't even think I could cover. There's so much. There's just like so much. There's so much in the physical world going on. There's like so many protests and a whole country standing up for themselves. The stuff going on in Paris is crazy. And I wonder how many people just travel there and just don't even know what's going on. And then they get there and it's like a revolution. Like, what's happening in Paris? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, my daughter and my 2 oldest grandkids, my daughter and her girlfriend all just went to Mexico. And I don't know, you know, what's going on there. All I kept saying was, like, there's so much going on everywhere. Like, you got to be careful. And then with how fragile the dollar is, you get stuck in another country and all of a sudden your money has no value. Like, what are you going to do? You can't buy more money. You can't, you're stuck. And so, you know, those are all concerns to me. One thing too about the, you know, knowing all the different stuff and not wanting to just go out and just do stuff, even though I want to go out and do stuff. I want to go do stuff. I wish life could go back to what it was, you know, but, you know, it is going to be so much better, you know, and we just have to kind of let go of certain things that we enjoyed that we wish we could just go back to. And so, you know, that is going to be over. And when you see it, like when I see these lives of people at the club and stuff, it's just so robotic. It's like the same picture night after night, just the same thing over and over and over until, you know, an instigator comes in and shoots the place up and things get wild. Then all of a sudden, you know, it takes on a whole new thing. But that is part, you know, that's part of the awakening. When that stuff happens, that's to push people out of that sleeping stance that they're living in their lives. But as you see all these people awakening to all different degrees and seeing things, it's interesting too how they'll talk about how they perceive things. And generally, it seems like everybody has this kind of sees things the same and stuff, but perceives it different, explains it different. So it is, that's what is unique when we all listen to each other and talk to each other is, how similar things are, but the way that people look at it is different. And so, you know, the more that you get opportunities to see how other people look at things, I think is a blessing. One of the things I don't want to forget to say, because this is just gross as fuck. For one thing, I keep thinking, like, in the morning time, that is one thing, too, that is hard to sleep sometimes. It's like, I guess it's the parasites is what people say is why you start getting really hungry. They start getting really mad in the middle of the night. And they'll harass me. Like, they want to be fed. And so, in the morning, I feel so hungry all the time. And sometimes I can't sleep through it. So the last few days I've been doing the diatomaceous earth. And I guess it makes sense when you eat a lot of vegetables, you know, like our ground. Like, there's no telling. They probably spray fucking parasites on it, man. So, like, I mean, it's almost like you have to put your vegetables into a sink of bleach and vinegar and, you know, try and get all the chemicals off. It's ridiculous. And then they fucking mess with the chemical components, the molecular structure, just as they do with us. And I even saw, and this seemed like a small potato farm. This didn't even seem like a huge-ass corporate one. But they paint the motherfucking potatoes. The potatoes come out, the red potatoes aren't really red. They are just look like russet potatoes. They spray the red on them because it looks better. And you can charge more. Oh my Lord. Fuck nutrition. Fuck, you know. Yeah, but this is where a lot of people are putting this together. And the same thing is where people started saying, how could there be enough cows for all the McDonald's in the world? Like, there were just the cows. I don't even think there's enough cows already to just supply McDonald's alone. And how many cows are being slaughtered a day after day after day after day in order to supply these huge food chains. And then, but now as stuff is coming out more and more about the missing kids, like, which they're not missing. They're just, so we know where they are. I mean, they're fucking not missing. And they're not just lost. And it's so disgusting, a market like that. It's so gross. Like, because the kids all have to, the kids are indebted. Like, their parents sell them, like, here, yes, get my child to America, give them a better life. And they have these debts, and they're worn on these bracelets. And the bracelets show, it's like kind of like branding them. And the kids know they can't go, they can't do anything. So the kids are trapped there. Like, 67 men to an 8-year-old little girl. And then how long does it even take for DNA to not show up? How long has this been going on? So fucking sad. It makes me so sick, man. So fucking sick. And, we had to go through, look at all this shit we had to go through. Fucking BL and all this fucking shit for people to learn to value people of different colors and stuff, to know that they're under attack. It's no shit. They're under attack. It's not by us. Even though they want to build that whole fucking scenario up, it's not by us. And so in the news where these meat packing plants, there's so much stuff. I feel like it just is constantly all these things that I said. It just seems like, yeah, I saw that. Yep, I knew that was coming. Yep, saw that. Told you. That's what I feel like all the fucking time. But so the meat packing plants that got busted, and they're like making a thing about like the kids are working at night, and and they'll try and flip that shit. Oh, these poor immigrant children get just put into work, and and stuff like that. No, that's not what's going on. What's going on is those kids are put in there to do the with the kids that were just already done. And there is a whole thing as to, are they just raising kids just for meat at this point? Like, there's even a thing about humane, like, it's more humane to raise humans and slaughter them than it is to raise cows and slaughter them. Like, that is a new agenda that they're going to try and get the people to accept. I mean, people accept a lot of fucking nonsense, and it gets more and more absurd. Yesterday I saw this lady, and I don't know if I already talked about this, but I saw this lady, and I'm still not even done. Oh yeah, was I done with the meat? Yeah, because at the meat packing plant, the reason they have the kids in there is to terrorize them, to show them you could be next, you get this shit done. And it's the places where it's like the slaughterhouses or something. And so most of the meat and stuff I think people are eating isn't, I don't even know what all the hell it is, seriously. But people are putting it together now, especially meat eaters. How in the world can they have this much meat in every single store, in every single city across there's not even that fucking many beef farmers. Like, how could there be that many? And think about how much meat gets thrown away. How much meat gets marked down. It's not even getting bought. See, it's an overconsumption for one thing. That is the problem with not being harmonious in the planet. That's why everything has to blow up, because it is using what doesn't need to be used. And this kind of stuff sticks out to me so much. Even walking around the neighborhood and stuff, you can tell who's harmonious with their living environment and who isn't. And, it's important just like, you know, there's neighbors who, you know, move into the forest and decide they're going to take over the forest. They're just going to cut that down, take that down, you know, and stuff like that. And that is not being harmonious with the planet. And then also not tending, saying this is my area, this is my spot, but then not tending your grounds, not taking care of your area. It shows. And, you know, and there's an awkwardness to not being in sync with your environment, you know. So, anyways, that was a whole nother thing. But, so, in the food thing, that is going to be more and more coming out. Like, I don't know, but I would say it's not just McDonald's. It's for sure probably groceries. There's certain cuts and stuff. Like, who knows what the hell? Like, ugh, man, it's so gross, you know, how they get people to be eating this stuff is so gross. But there was some other things, too, that I wanted to talk about. For one thing, yesterday when my daughter was leaving, yesterday was a big, because there was something else on the TikTok thing, I think, that I was going to say about, well, let me just go to this thing. So yesterday, my daughter was leaving to go to Mexico. And I'm just going to be skipping all over the place because I think I'm just leaving things off. Hopefully I can remember them all. But, you know, we had that group message thing. And every fucking time that I say anything that I got to say, if it's not just like, oh, how cute, oh, how adorable, oh, love it. If I say anything, like people having a conversation and I put my 2 cents in, then it is, no, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody cares. Quit trying to say this. Quit trying to say that. It's always just like, you know, shut me down. And especially the one daughter, the one that had lived here for a couple times. And so she's just always, and you know, she's the one who has taught me a lot about boundaries. But they always are telling me things and showing me things about it because I'm always asking, like, you know, it's weird. And I know it's not from this life or something. There's just like, I don't know. I mean, to me, it just becomes over the top at some point to just every motherfucking time I'm fucking saying something. I mean, it was the same thing here. And then when she reevaluates her being here, she was under attack. It was like, I can't even motherfucking say anything without being told I'm wrong. My opinions are wrong. What I do with my time is wrong. But even on the thing, it started, I had said, because I was on TikTok and I was looking at some TikToks. Oh, yeah, because I want to say something about that woman. Okay, so I left that off. Yeah. Okay, so then I'll go back to the other one. So this woman I saw yesterday, this just blew my mind. But this is important because I was a Democrat, you know, I know what the propaganda rags are. And so this lady, she looked more of a progressive woman, like more atypical, like what you would imagine. And she was doing, she didn't have blue hair, she had normal hair, but she had a green screen and she's doing all of these magazine articles or whatever, headlines over and over. I am not fucking shitting you. The way they word things, Trump is not fucking kidding. The fake fucking news, it's so fucking absurd. But go in and read, like go in and find the liberal propaganda, like I don't know if Gateway Pundit is one, Huffington Post. It seems like Gateway Pundit, but I don't know. That could be a Republican one. They're all those things are leaning in a direction that they're manipulating. They're not telling the truth. And but the liberal one, so this woman, she's showing these headlines that are just pumping Joe up, man. That fucking guy, what a goddamn blessing that motherfucker is. I swear to God, I thought she was joking. She was fucking serious. What good news. How exciting. How exciting. what, I mean, the Democrats are just fucking kicking ass, man. They're doing so good. And it's those fucking controlling crazy Christians, you know, they just can't see it because they just want to make everybody have to carry their own babies and go to church or believe in God or something. I don't even know. It's so fucking absurd. But so these titles, and she's all pumped, you know, hell yeah, Joe was a king. And it's like, so I'm like, okay, this has got to be a joke. This can't be real. And I go in to the and I'm like, I even say, I hope this is a joke. Like, it wasn't. And then the comments, oh, I just needed this bit of good news. Oh, this is such good news. Oh God, I'm so happy we're doing so well. What? In the holy hell. God damn. They don't need their senses. Just tell them how the world is going. Send it to them in an article. They don't need to know. Nothing else matters. Just send it to them in an article. Let them read about it. That's what's important there. And then they don't even go and look for it themselves. So this woman on TikTok sharing is bringing the good news. I was like, what the fucking hell? Oh, this is so weird. I can't believe this reality. This is so fucking weird. So, anyways, in this conversation with so in the morning I was on, I had only been on there a few minutes. It seemed like yesterday was the meditation day. It seemed like a lot of intense energy. There was revolutions, protests. There was just crazy shit happening. And so it was really intense. And so it kept seeming like fuck. And, it seemed like I would try and go on TikTok, you know, to distract I was going like music, get up, and Stella in between. Get up, go to the door, come back, go sit down, get up, go to the door, come back. It's like, oh, it's like, this is so weird. This energy is so weird. It's like, you can't relax. And so, so that's one thing too, is that any arguments and stuff, you got to realize people are fucking in edge. They're tense. It's edgy. And so this guy was doing this, talking, and he's talking about like how crazy it is out there. Like people are fucking lost their goddamn minds. And there's a lot of darker skinned people that are going out and they're really being embarrassed of their communities right now. Just like all the other communities are coming out and being embarrassed by their communities. That one is also because you have the group that is looting, being violent, gangs, beating up, like you have a lot of craziness. And so they're being really ashamed of their people. And being like, you know, it's no wonder people, you know, look at you like this way. And then some of the stats and stuff that they give is like, whoa, I didn't even know that. Like, I thought there was a lot more darker skinned people than there is. It's like 6.5% of the population. And this guy said, and it makes up 50% of the people in prison. Like there's way more, Chinese people, or like there's way more, I don't know. Just all these different stats and these different people and their different things that they're all talking about. But so this one was talking about, it was a gas station in Chicago. You can look it up, the thing. There's tons of footage of this whole live thing because he's talking about how crazy this footage is. And how intense everything is. You know, people are losing their fucking minds. And he's talking about this crazy argument with this woman at the gas station and how she overreacts. And the two women start fighting. So I guess apparently the one woman starts arguing with her fella while they're doing the gas. And she thought the guy was being mean to the girl. So she yells out from the other car to quit doing that. And, you know, or whatever she says. Pisses off the lady in the car who starts yelling at her. Then they start fighting back and forth. Then start threatening. Then she decides that, because she's like, dare you to run over me. So the woman in the pickup, I think it's a pickup, that was fighting with the guy, she guns it while the guy is still out there, starts dragging the guy, and floors it, goes, does something, I think hits, I don't know what she did to the woman's car or something, but goes flying out into the street, hits some other car, flips her truck, and then after she jumps out of the car and still trying to fight. It's like, people have lost their minds, you know. And then there was, I had seen where there was two men in a road rage situation that they have their whole families in the car, their kids in the car and everything. Both of them are carrying and start shooting out in the motherfucking cars at each other while they're driving. I think somebody's kid got killed. I think a couple of people got shot. I don't think the men got shot, but I think some people in the cars got shot. But, you know, I mean, it's like people are not thinking clearly at all. They're so triggered. And it's this energy. And one of the things that my daughter had put up was this picture of this guy that she had known or something. She's on Facebook all the time. That's one reason why she, I don't know what the fuck's going on in the world. But so she was sitting there showing this picture, and this guy dies suddenly and stuff. And so then people said stuff. And I said something about, you know, it's the energy people can't maintain if you are, you know, toxic or you've got a lot of issues and stuff. Being in this energy is going to be way too uncomfortable. And so that is what we're seeing is, but they're going through that for their soul because it is purging that stuff up to the surface so that they can deal with it, hopefully. But some of them won't be able to because they're too caught up in the story. But it is to reveal yourself so that you can heal yourself. So even if they can't do it here, you know, they just cross over and go into the review, and it's like, you know, go back over the replay. Oh, I could have done this. Oh, I could have done that. Oh, I think I could do this better. You know, but it's all you. It isn't, you know, it's not judgment like people think. It's like a review of how you can improve. Like, all a soul wants to do is be better. And your lost souls get caught up in what is good and what's bad. And it's not, you know, like they think success is having a lot of things. How do you get a lot of things? Well, and in this world, you got to hurt people to get things. You got to, you know, so they start lowering the bar of what they'll do in order to get their things and become a success and stuff like that. So that's the challenge in the game. But anyways, so in this conversation, and then, you know, they're going to the airport. And so this is on the family talk thing, you know, or and then they added in the one granddaughter who was on this trip. And so there's this conversation going about this guy dying suddenly, where I was just like saying something about the energy. So I put my input in, and I was just like, I think everybody just rolls their eyes when I talk. And so then I said something about, you know, being careful and being safe. Oh, I think, and two, I said the 555 portal is going to be there. So make sure, and I'd already been telling my daughter, make sure and go out and get pictures of the sky. There's been a lot of alien sightings and stuff like that. So go out and do that. And then, so I said, oh, on the in this group chat, I said, oh, it's going to be the 555 portal. So go out on the beach for that. You guys might get taken. And my one daughter, who's against me, apparently, she's like, no, or something, you know. And I'm like, yeah, and go at 5:55. And then she said something else like, don't do that. And then I said, just tell him to bring you back, though. And then the other daughter was like, okay. So, you know, I'm just kind of, you know, saying stuff like that. And then I said, you know, be careful. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. I've seen like crazy shit on that thing. And this is where it always goes dark. Like, So then I'm told I need to, I need to do better with my time. I need to get off TikTok. Yeah, you can go do something with your life. Get off the TikTok. I'm like, okay, I'm probably on social media less than any of you guys. I probably have less screen time than any of you guys. But you talk to me like I'm a child, okay? And then I'm trying to just scare everybody. Okay, I'm trying to scare you. This stuff is going on, but I'm trying to scare you. No, it's not really going on. You just believe anything you hear. You just believe anything. So, then whatever I said back, then the granddaughter jumps in, stop arguing, stop fighting. And then she starts telling me, yeah, I don't ever see any of that stuff. I don't think anything's going on. So I just left the conversation. I just fucking left it. I was like, it is every fucking time that I go, that's not like a fun conversation every time to go in, and I'm supposed to defend myself. I'm not supposed to talk about anything that interests me. I'm not supposed to show myself. Don't be you. Come here and tell us all we're great, but don't be you. And I was really going on that yesterday too. I'll tell you more about that. But so I was, so then I left that conversation, and right away she texts me, and I don't know if she saw I left the conversation, but so she texts me privately and says something, wants me to explain something. I don't even know what the fuck. And I said, you know what, I'm real done. No, let's see. I said, I am done having conversations that I need to defend myself. And I am super duper done being in conversations that I'm not wanted. Like, I'm fucking done with it. And I went and told the other daughter, don't add me back into this. I'm fucking done. I'm done being in conversations where I'm not wanted. There is no reason I should have to defend myself all the time. And, and then another thing is I'm the one who has to go and travel to go see everybody. No, it is a burden. Stella's a burden. I'm a burden. Like there's nobody to really put me up anywhere. And even though I have a house where anybody can come, they can bring their dogs, they can bring their family, and everybody has a place to stay, and there's food or whatever. But that is, that's a bother. Why would they do that? And then but I'm supposed to go there. But then, that daughter, and the thing is like, do they think like I can't read into things? Do they think I don't hear what they're really saying? Do they think I don't pick up on innuendo and stuff like that? I pick up on every motherfucking thing. I can see past anything. I can see through. I don't and it was something a couple weeks ago. It was something said to me. There's been a couple things dropped because over, me going in the next, sometime next month or something, which I said, I'm not going, no. I'm going to stay. If I'm going to be, locked down here again this summer, then I'm just going to focus on doing the stuff around here and getting this place ready to rent. And I'm just going to go through that thing, get it ready for, at least for this winter, for people, ski trip people. So I figure I can't do the whole big job of the bathroom. So it is going to kind of be band-aided. But I figure if I pull up all of the old tile, and then I kills the floor, and then get some of that other, even if I get stick-on tiles or whatever, to just get some sort of floor done in there. And then, I think that it would be fine for a while. By the time, and there's been videos that have been talking to me. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, there'd be so many, like, where the conversations I'm having, and then they're answering me through other people and stuff. So, and explaining things and stuff. So, like there's a whole bunch of different things. But anyway, so I'm going to do everything I just can to just get this like ready for renting it for some people for skiing this winter and stuff. So I'm going to winterize that building out there. So that I think is going to be what I'm going to do this summer, is I'm going to take off all of the walls inside, and then I'm going to put in new insulation, put in new walls, and then I got to do the roof thing. And there was other plans that I had that I wanted to do, but I don't have to get those things done in order to start using this as a business. And so then, see, this is that kind of game, you know, the gamble of, you know, where are we in this collapse, financial collapse? And I think that they wouldn't have anything in the judicial at this point to foreclose on me. I think the judicial, but, you know, we got to just keep watching how this stuff is playing out. And, I mean, there's so many arrests. There's so many people going down for this and that. Like, it's just so much going. So, and I heard within 2 weeks, like June 1st is supposed to be the start of the cashless society. So, and over the next 2 weeks, there's supposed to be something big. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So even if we go to cashless society, that is within that window of the 35 days. That is, their contract is null and void, because there's no, I can't pay them with dollars, because that currency no longer exists. So that, I feel like it's a safe gamble. Like, I've never been really much of a gambler. I'm more of a play it safe kind of gambler. So I think it is a pretty safe one. But I would think it would be smarter for me to get more silver and get supplies than to pay my house this month. And so, and to go and spend my money to go and travel to a place where it's just kind of, they only want me around to just say how great your life is, how excited I am for you, how adorable, you know, and that stuff. But anything else is like, you know, there's no room for me. There's no place for me. There's just like, and then when they start saying stuff like, well, you know, it's too bad you can't just do something with Stella, because that would just be so much easier. Okay. It would be so much easier if I just stay here with Stella. Because, you know, that is the person that I spend all my time with for the past 6 years. Especially the past 4 years is all my time. But ever since she was little, she is like, I haven't been in any relationship or anything. It's been me and her. And so I think there was a couple people I went out with right at the very beginning, but she don't remember that. You know, and there was other dogs around then too. So now it's been her and I for so long, and she is my, you know, my companion. And I don't know. To me, anybody who's had a relationship with a dog that has gotten, or a cat, I mean, there's people who have strong relationships with goddamn birds and mice and all sorts of shit. Anything you develop a relationship with, it is important to you. You know, it's like, she's not just a dog to me. She's a relationship. She's a being. She is, you know, she's my life. And I don't know, it bothers me. That was one thing, like, why I'm, you know, I'm not going to go back and be friends with that. There was a few, quite a few things, like wanting me to go in the Food Alliance was a big one. But, you know, when Stella would have bad times, she'd just be like, you know, that I needed to put her down and stuff. And I was just like, ooh, you're not my person. That is what I see. But that, even then, to me, it was just like, okay, we're just like kind of, you know, it wasn't until sometimes even in friendships, there's an imbalance, you know. It will go further for one person than it does for another. And so to me, it has been all the relationships that I have developed over here since I moved are all just like, they're not permanent, you know. I can see that. I can see it, you know. I can feel it. And that is one thing, too, that has kind of been shown to me, is that is, it's like a part of my thing, is to come in and out of people's lives and to trigger something in their growth or something. I think one thing is because I do see things so clearly, and I don't have a filter like other people. And so I am really honest about what I see. And, you know, and some people, you know, it can always help people, you know, but some people don't like that. Like, they don't want to see certain things. And I, you know, I mean, I was a kid in the house that was going to talk about things like, you know, we're going to just pretend like Dad's not drunk again. You know, I was like, we're not going to just pretend, you know. And that was back when people used to. You didn't talk about things. You didn't notice things. You just pretended like everything was okay. There's so much, man, when you really think about human development of what we're doing as souls. Like, you can really see, like, how the progression occurs through the changes and stuff. But, you know, I mean, with all of their manipulation and stuff, with time and purpose. That is one thing, is time and purpose. And even, I don't know, death is such a big lie. And I was just, this guy came in and said something, I don't know, sometimes some of the stuff, like, whatever I'll say, not everybody understands. Like, you know, not everybody understands what I'm saying. That's for sure. And so whatever this guy said, and he was saying something about, you know, death is real, and I can take you to a cemetery and prove it. And it was like, but that isn't real. That's just a ceremony. As the person is going to leave, it's the ceremony we go through to, like, honor them. It's not that they're really dead. They're really just gone from. And he said something else. It's like, yeah, but it's just because they're at a higher frequency, you can't see them. They're still there. They're still next to you. You just can't see them because you're still at a lower frequency. And then finally, I guess he just probably stopped. But to me, that is just such a lie. And, you know, it's like, well, but it has to be all a part of that story. It has to be, you know, this life and death and an accident in order to control and manipulate you, to get you to chase something that you shouldn't be chasing, like money. I saw, this was something I saw. This, there's like a few different people who are telling their different stories on manifesting that is like real manifesting. And so this one, so this girl, she was doing a DoorDash, and she goes up to, she said this neighborhood was, I can't remember, she said the name of the city, but I don't remember. And she said the houses are gorgeous, like mansion houses. And she said they're so pretty. And she went pulling up, and it was the most beautiful house of the whole neighborhood, she said. And when she went to go put the food on the porch, the guy opens the door. So she said, I just want you to know your house is just beautiful. And he says something like, well, you'll have one too. And she was like, what? And so then she was like, are you a fortune teller or something? And he said, I was a DoorDash person. And I went and drove through and saw the beautiful houses. And then I started driving through all the time. And I started going into the houses, you know, driving around them, picking which one I liked, and seeing myself there. And I started going to the open houses on the weekends. and would go into the houses, walk around, start seeing myself being there, being a part of it. And I started asking the universe to show me the way that I wanted that direction. And to me, this is where I'll just back it up. In the manifesting in the beginning part is he was drawn to those houses to set him on his journey. So it wasn't an accident that he was at the houses. The houses went, and that was the trigger. So that's the difference in the manifesting thing that I want to say. But okay, then he was going to the things and seeing himself there. And then he was asking the universe to get him there and to put him on that path, to get him in that direction. So they started leading him into different business deals and different things. And he said now he owns a construction company and another company. I don't remember. He owned 2 companies and makes all this ton of money. But it was that. But see, that is what I'm saying. So they show you the thing, whatever your thing is. And so they'll show you your, I have too many words coming in my head. Like your program, your purpose. So they'll show you your purpose and you may not recognize it. You may go into that neighborhood and go like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. God, these people, they're so rich. They're so disgusting. They're, because that's your attitude. That's what your soul is trying to recognize those different things when they come to the surface. And so you go into it with an attitude because your soul wants to release attitude. It wants to go into excited for everybody that's doing well. Not be like, so then that is where I'm talking about. You go on that path of you're not good enough. And so that's the path that you choose. And so then he's talking about that he chose the path of value. I could fit in here. Like, I feel right here. This is me. This is my place, man. This is what I want. This is what, and I'm driven. I'm going towards it. That's where I'm going. And so start moving your energy directed towards what they have shown you, what was your desire, what was revealed to you. So then you put yourself in that direction. That is putting by choice, by you knowing your own worth, your own power. So that is what I'm saying, the 2 different ways that you can manifest. So one of them is that you're going to go on this track to learn your value, to learn to love others, to learn to respect others, whatever it is, that is your track. The other one is, this works. This is cool. I like this. I deserve this. I could have this. I'm just as good as anybody else. And I can make this happen for myself. Show me the way. And they show you the way. But you have to, along the path, you have to constantly, like I'm sure he had to have meetings with people that probably intimidated him at some point. Where, that they were, stronger businessmen, and he had to go in and that's where you humble yourself and be the learner. You don't go into it and be the teacher. You go into it as a humble learner. And it's like knowing your place through the journey so that you can learn and attract. And so you learning and growing from others on the journey, but you have to constantly remind yourself of your own value as you go. Just like on my thing, what they're directing me, and I have to constantly confirm to myself that my inner guidance, what they're telling me, it doesn't matter what the physical world is showing me. It doesn't matter what the censorship is trying to do with the frustration and, trying to put us off and having bullies come in and attack us and stuff like that. To just know, to follow the inner guidance that is directing me as to what to do and to know my own value. To know, but it's a lot. There's a lot of challenges there. But, yesterday, I told them, and I felt it too. It was like, no. And I just was going over it even while I was out, walking with Stella and stuff. And I was thinking, it's always been that way. Even with my siblings, when my kids were little, I was the one who went and drove to go visit people. I was the one who would always be going. And it has not been other people. I've been the one who has tried to maintain those relationships. If I don't do it, it's just like gone. And those were also where I was just like, okay, well, I can just let go of these things. I'm not going to go and just constantly be trying to, I don't know, it kind of hurts your feelings, when you're the one who's always going and doing it, and especially, it's so crazy too. Like here, I have an apartment. You can come over and sit for a little while with me. Or I have an apartment. You can sleep on the couch, but you and your dog, it's kind of a burden. And then even when you're sleeping on the couch, I mean, people are down there turning on the lights and everything. It's not like you have any privacy or any bedroom or anything. And Stella and all the dogs and everything. So it's, literally putting myself out to come and visit because I love you and I want to spend time with you. But then it's kind of like, I think that they would all be happy with just like maybe just me stop by, tell them how great everything looks, how great everything is, and hold their baby, tell them how perfect their babies are, and then to just go about my life, It's like they only want me in their lives for what is for them. But anything about me, it's like, I'm weird. I make things up. So I went in and started pulling up articles of these things and sending them to my daughter. And I said, I'm not making this shit up. And things are crazy out there. I don't think that's fucking out of hand for a mom to be concerned with all the people going out to say, be careful, there's crazy people out there. It doesn't mean I'm trying to scare people. How would that scare you? I'm sitting there telling these stories that I think are funny and crazy, but still, like, if you're out, like, watch out. Don't start shit with somebody over there. Don't think this is the time to say, hey, fuck you, because somebody will pull out a fucking gun and shoot you. And my one daughter, she was at the airport, and then she did say that she did have an uncomfortable encounter because some old man turned and started saying something about the girls. And she said they were her nieces. And then she said, oh, well, who's this, your son? And she said, no, my girlfriend. And he said, your girlfriend? And she said, yeah. And he looked at him, and then he just turned and looked away. And so she was texting me like, how uncomfortable. I said, that's what is happening right now. People can't separate sex and love, and they think that gay people are perverted and pedophiles. Like, when you hear these people sit here and say, it is, like, I feel really bad for, gay people right now are on the chopping block by a lot of these other judgmental people, but it's kind of like, are we just throwing arrows back and forth instead of really dealing with what's going on? And the throwing arrows back and forth just prolongs it. And that is that part where they say, like, why the aliens haven't come down and spent time with us is because of that. Like, there is no talking. There's no communicating. There are children out there just throwing arrows. Well, you said it first. Well, the priest, he raped the kids first. Well, it's like, it's in the going back and forth still in the red and blue. And I don't know. It's madness. I mean, when you go in, I hope some of these people are fake that come in and say stuff on the comments. These people who really, I mean, if your TDS is still this bad and that you can't see how they fucking build Joe up and tear Trump down, and that Trump is the one who is trying to do good things for the country, get business and stuff here, and give us all opportunities. It's not Joe. Joe's just wanting to take them away, but they see it opposite. It's like, how can you, where are you disconnected from real life? Like, I mean, it's one thing, you know, a few years ago when we're sitting there saying, like, people weren't seeing, but, like, motherfuck, it's everywhere. You know, like, there's so much stuff being released and you know, all this information coming out now. And it kind of is concerning, too, is, like, these nanobots or whatever they're fucking putting in us and all this shit. And then they got fucking old Gator Boy in charge of the machinery. Like, I don't know, where they're saying, like, they can just take over a person, just make a person start doing whatever they want, like a puppet. I don't know. I know that, you know, that those people are going down. Like, all of Joe, like, I saw videos about his, all his farmland. And all that farmland is going to be, it's all confiscated. And it's all going to go back to the people. So it's going to be beneficial. But still, there's a whole thing. Like, there's no owning the earth. Like, that right there. That he owns the earth, see? So it being confiscated, like his land titles or whatever. But it really is not that you own the earth. It is you are allotted an area to tend, to work with, so that you're working with it. It gives back to you. So it gives back to you in food and shelter and stuff like that. But it is you, what you put into it. The same thing with manifesting. Everything in life is what you put into it, how you direct the energy. And that is why they have all the people that are so mixed up, and they're directing the energy towards the things that they want. And, you know, the stuff they want is all bad stuff for us. And there was somebody, like, what was that one yesterday too? Like, this was another comment where I was like, are you for real? Oh, because I think it was a video of something about me talking like this. And then they said, that sounds horrible. That sounds horrific. I don't want to be out there, you know. There's people who just want a grocery store. They just want somebody else to go do the work for them. And I said, well, 15-minute city sounds perfect for you. Like, there's going to be huge amounts of people who, yeah, they don't want to grow a garden. They don't want to cook for themselves. They want convenience. They want, you know, a store at the corner, a place to go get drunk with their friends. Like, they don't give a shit about taking care of themselves or building community or socializing. Like, there's so much more to socializing than going down to the bar and getting drunk with some people and seeing who hits on who. Like, socializing, actually going out and having fun. Like, I love in old movies where they show, like, square dances and, you know, where the town would all get together and there's music, people dancing, bake sales, you know, all of that stuff where people come out and spend time, where kids can be. There's a reason why kids can't be at bars, and they can still be out at festivals and picnics and stuff like that. And, you know, it's not just about alcohol and getting drunk and doing stupid shit. It's, you know, about being out and talking to people and spending time with people. And, you know, that builds a solid foundation for a community. You know, when you know what's going on with people. Everybody's so disconnected. Everybody was so fucking toxic. Like, it's crazy. When you see how many people had such toxic relationships, all their relationships, how they feel about themselves, their relationships with their parents, with their siblings, with their work people. Like, nobody was being happy and fulfilled. Everybody was just trying to survive and then feeling shame, like they were the only ones. Well, when we all come together and say, no, this is some bullshit, nobody's happy about this, then we can make changes. We can't stay hidden from each other. We have to talk to each other. We have to risk being sound to foolish. You know, it doesn't, you can sound foolish and not be a fool. You know, you can ask questions and be in the position of being a learner, you know, and there's nothing to feel bad about any of that stuff. And we have got to, you know, people have got to start asking questions about how to make the world a better place, how to make kids feel better about themselves. Kids shouldn't be like, there's so much talk now. I see video after video where people talking about their body dysmorphia and stuff. Like the stuff that these people say, and then they go in and just tell them, change genders. That's the solution. It's like, oh my gosh. Like these people were so unhappy in their bodies. And it has nothing to do, I'm not saying because they thought that they were a boy or a girl. Some of them just didn't even know what the hell. They're just so uncomfortable, so unhappy. They don't know what they're doing here. They don't know why they're in this body. They don't understand this body. We got to start from the very fucking beginning, explaining when some child is birthed into the experience, what you're doing here. You're here. Yeah, it's awkward. You're in a spacesuit. You are in, and one thing that they were showing me last night too, in the evolution, is this is like you're being birthed. The soul is birthed into the avatar, into the suit that's getting you around, that you're birthed into it. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's, you don't know how to drive it. You don't know how to work it, but you got to learn. And you got to learn to become comfortable with it and comfortable inside of it in order to make it do what you want it to do. And that is why there's so much disruption. And that is why you see so many people being like, wait, what? I don't even want to be here. I hate this. This is horrible. Because we're not doing it right from the very beginning. It needs to be immediately, you know, explaining. You know, you're here for a purpose. You're here in this thing. You come here to learn, to grow. You're here to experience yourself. You're here to learn about yourself, to understand about yourself. Life is an adventure to go in and try and see and experience as much as you can in the time that you have chosen or you're allotted to. Then this is your time to experience and to enjoy, to fix relationships, to fix yourself, to, you know, all of it. It's all a part of life. And, you know, but we've got kids starting out and then just setting a device in front of them. And there's no telling what those devices have done to scramble in their brains, you know. Also, I just want to say, too, is, you know, when I'm looking at these yards, you know, and people don't, like, work with their space. It's like they work against their space. But this one neighbor, they have the trampoline, you know, and they put it right up against my fence. So what do the kids go out and they scream and scream and scream and scream, jump, 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 fight, hit each other. And Stella stands there barking at them. I'm just like, oh, this is so fun. I'm so happy you put that there. And, but when I was walking over there with Stella, and they have, because they didn't fence their whole entire yard. They just fenced like this middle part. I don't understand. There's a lot of things I don't understand. But so I was like when I was standing over, I was like, what a perfect fucking place to put that trampoline right fucking there. Because there's a ledge that goes down and has a drop, and they could put that trampoline right there. It's over by the street where the noise isn't coming in my fucking front door. And, but when you're jumping as a kid, it would look so cool because it would look so far down with that ledge there. That is working with your space. You know, that is looking around, you know. I don't know. Do some people not like look at their space and visualize and see how things fit and where things could go? Like, I don't know. I see something in space and in patterns and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we all see and perceive so differently. It's so hard to understand. Like, I know that I am feeling the world in ways that other people don't feel the world. I am definitely seeing things that other people don't see. And it's so crazy is, you know, I'll tell you one thing though, and then I'm going to go, is one thing that I am noticing, and I feel like that there's a lot of people. Oh, I do want to say this though too, because I had just seen, I think her name is Megan, but it keeps being Megan Fox. Is there a news lady named Megan Fox and there's an actress named Megan Fox? I don't know. I think her name is Megan. I don't even know what station, but I swear to God, like, she's a news person who has become a personality on its own. And so I see her all the time, but I don't know who the hell she is. But so she was doing a story over Dylan. And so she had done some research. So yeah, 5 years ago, he was on a stage and still wearing his little thing to show his bulge. Just a, whatever, Speedo on or something. On a stage, short white hair, just a flamboyant guy. And, you know, up there being very stage presence, you know, flamboyant, whatever, a character. He's created a character. And then that character didn't work, so then he changed it a little to another character. And then I think it was 3 years ago, he went binary or something and did a whole show about that on his Instagram or whatever. Then it was a year or 2 years ago, then he decided to go trans and be this over-the-top silly girl. And so this character probably won't even last, but that's why I was saying, that's why so much of his shit is blowing up, because his energy was focused on just being famous, but it wasn't, like, he wasn't trying to be famous for something good. He wasn't trying to bring something good to the planet. It was selfish, it was self-indulgent, and it was toxic to a lot of other people. Because now, I mean, he's caused a lot of toxicity for so many trans people. And so, you know, he's getting a lot of backlash. And so, you know, that's where I'm talking about the energy that people are putting out. And so right now, it seems like that, you know, like there's a lot of people who are kind of locking in, like, you know, what is your final answer? And they're locking your answers. And so everybody's locking in. And that is what it felt like so much yesterday, when it was like, you know, you're just going to leave it with, you know, you're crazy or something like that. Just putting that energy out there again. And I feel like that is for a purpose. Like, it's their purpose. It isn't anything about me. It's like when the energy changes, it's to impact that where they've locked in. So if you have people around you who are just really locking in right now about, you know, your crazy stuff, the crazy stuff you talk about, you worry about things that don't matter, you think about things you shouldn't think about, you spend time doing things you shouldn't spend time, you know, all those things, then just remember, they're just locking in right now. It has nothing to do with you. They're locking in their perspective so that it impacts them, so that they have to see. So when they all of a sudden, when everything flips, because it's not just going to be the flipping of the whole world, like the government, suddenly they see the truth, the medical, it's going to be the people around them, the people that they saw, that they thought were crazy, the ones they called crazy. They're going to all of a sudden, that perspective, and that is the one I think is going to be the most impactful in families and stuff. That is what I think is going to be, you know, a big, like, shocker. Because I think that there's a lot of us who were looked at as, like, the weirdos, you know, the rejects, the weird one, you know, that they're the ones who saw. They're the ones who noticed. And they're the ones who started speaking out. And so, you know, we've been the ones who've been called crazy and stuff. So that is going to be a big part of the awakening for a lot of these people. And it feels like that is what is happening, because I'm seeing videos and stuff. So anyways, don't argue or fight with anybody. Like, I stood my ground. Like, I'm seriously, no, I'm not fucking, no, no, I got nothing. And I've said this to her so many times. I've had this conversation so many times. And, you know, but when people don't want to see what they're doing, all they can see is what you're doing, and they think you're making them do this. they can't take responsibility for themselves. So you can see why this has to go down the way it goes down, where it has to impact them, where they have to see like, oh, you know, I wasn't crazy. I was, it was their view of me. So then they have to go back over like, you know, why did I not see that? Why did I see this? Why did, you know, and that's where they have to go in deeper. And I, you know, for some of them, they'll just go like, well, you know, she wasn't a good mom, so what am I supposed to do? Well, then that's your own obstacle. If you can't get over that part, if you can't go in and look at yourself deeper, then, you know, you're not ready to evolve. You're not ready to heal your own wounds. Because it is staying in victim mentality. If you're blaming others for how you feel, you have to take ownership of your feelings. And so, you know, however, because one of my daughters even said, well, you know, maybe you should just not, I get told this all the time, maybe you should just not talk about what you talk about. Okay, so it isn't like I'm going in and just, there's got to be room for me in the relationships that I'm supposed to be a part of. I've got to be able to show myself freely and be myself. I can't go in and be like, oh, can I say that? Wait, should I say that? No, should I be that way? No, if you can't accept me, if you think I'm weird, you think I'm paranoid, you think I worry about things that I don't need to worry about, you think I care about things that I shouldn't care about, you think I spend time doing things I shouldn't be spending time about, you think I talk to people that I just am, you know, crazy because I think I'm talking to other people, and just all of these things. It's just like, I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not going to try and convince anybody. You know, you can see whatever you want to see. It doesn't matter. And I'm not going to change who I am to please other people. You know, and that's to the point where it's at. And, you know, and even if it's my kids or whatever, you know, I'm just not. That's just the way it is. If you want to be a part of my life, then you're going to have to accept me. And if I say things that you don't appreciate, you say things I don't appreciate. And I'm sure the hell not just sitting there micromanaging. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. And that has been the thing the whole time. And I'm not going to fucking be on a script, a acceptable script. You know, I'm sorry if it scares you that some woman in a gas station loses her goddamn mind, and some man on the street loses his mind, and some woman gets mad at her husband and, you know, kills the kid and puts him in a bucket. Like, I can't, you know, I don't, it doesn't scare me. And I don't know if that is, you know, that I'm just selfish and I'm scaring all of these other people. You know, then that is what I'll have to see at my life review, that I was just terrorizing people, talking about what's going on in the world. And then, you know, whatever I learn from it, I'll learn from it. But at this point, I'm going to be me. I'm going to continue to talk about what I talk about and notice what I notice and see what I see. There's a reason that I have the sight that I have. There's a reason that you go through the things that you go through to have the perception that you have. And it's not so it can be hidden. So, you know, I'm just whatever. So to me, there's something too, like this week is really crazy with them. There's a eclipse, a moon, like a new moon, an eclipse, a changing of Mercury retrograde or something. And I don't know. There's so much stuff with the astrology. And then this 555 portal is something about change. Like all of these different things represent change. So hopefully we're going to see some big changes this week. Not just like it's still kind of, you know, going slow. Hopefully this week we'll see some big changes. It makes me nervous because, you know, my daughter's in Mexico now. But, you know, I mean, maybe that's what Maybe she's going to go out on the beach and have some really crazy experience. Maybe on 555, she will go out there and they will see a bunch of spaceships, and will be something that completely opened her mind, and it's going to be the best thing that ever happened. You know, just like me leaving my body, it was the best thing that happened to me when I was a teenager. So, you know, it could be that something, you know, sometimes you need these supernatural events to happen to get you metaphysical, so to get you into that spiritual place. So, you know, and I have no idea what's going to happen. You know, I'm hoping nothing bad happens. So, you know, we'll see how it all goes. But this week is supposed to be, you know, a really impactful week is what I keep hearing. So I don't know. Just don't get triggered by others. Remember, everybody is really easily triggered. You got to stay safe. Where people who are really out there losing their minds. I can't even, like the fucking crazy videos that I have seen. And especially like where both people have their videos trying to get each other on these videos. It is mental. And people coming out and just yelling at people over weird shit. People coming and telling, I've seen this video so many times, and I don't know if it's a setup, because this woman comes to the door to tell this guy he dresses his daughter in too much pink and he shouldn't be making her into a girl when just because she's born one. That he that what if she doesn't want to be a girl when she's older, and now all her baby pictures are girl pictures? Is this for real? People really feel like they can come and say this kind of shit to people? And like I've seen people out in the street battling over, you know, someone pulls into their street. Like there's one woman, I don't know, it was a DoorDash or something. The person goes up to drop the thing. The woman, I don't know, comes running out of her house to attack the woman because she's speeding down the street. They've got, well, I don't think the one has her phone on that one. I think just the one, but it's such a like scuffling around and stuff. And the woman's trying to grab her phone, and like nobody wants to go viral, but everybody's trying to catch everybody doing something to humiliate them. And that energy, when you're putting that energy, you're trying to humiliate another human being. Like when I even see some of this stuff, like I'm not going to go and show it because that is humiliating. I'm putting that energy out to get other people to laugh and stuff. And so the humiliating somebody is an energy. There's a dark energy that you're associating with. You're not exposing the truth about this person. You caught this person in a bad moment, and you are, you know, getting everybody on board to attack them. That is a negative energy that you are pulling, and you are directing that energy. And that is the energy, what I'm saying, when this flips back up, like we're in the movement. We're in something that is change, you know. So when it flips back up, that energy comes back on you because it has nowhere else to go. The energy you've been putting out has to come back towards you because it's flipping the other direction. So all the energy, if you've been being toxic, you've been yelling, you've been screaming at people and stuff like that, all that is going to come back on you. And it is going to be heavy. It's going to feel like shit. And that is going to be, you know, a big one to try and get yourself out from under. But it's what your soul decided to want to do. Because nothing happens that's not supposed to happen. Everything happens the way exactly it's supposed to happen. So that is, you know, your heavy weight that you decided to take on. So there's a lot of healing and growth to come from it. So don't panic or something like, oh my God, I was yelling at my mom last week. Oh my God, I got in that fight with my sister. Oh my God. You know, just welcome the energy when it comes back. Don't be, you know, fearful or, oh, it's going to be so, welcome it back. And remember, it's showing you. Think of it as being a screen that is showing you certain behaviors so that you can evaluate them. And you can go, oh, fuck, I could have, you know what, I could have just, if I would have just sat there and calmed down for a minute, I wouldn't have even got mad. I didn't even have to say that. You know, I said that because I was resentful of something she did 6 years ago. You know, just go over and go in deeper. and be like, why am I holding on to something for 6 years? Like, why? That's like a lot of my own energy I'm putting on to hold on to this so I can stay mad at her. You know, I could be doing so much more with that energy. Like, I could be becoming successful. I could be directing that energy into me rather than holding on to this anger and resentment towards them. And so, you know, starting to really understand how you use your energy. So whatever happens, just don't be like stressing out. Just be in the flow. In the flow, and then the wave comes up. Sometimes the wave will hit you and knock you down, and you know, you get sand and water in your mouth, you get sand up your crack, and you have to get up and you have to clean off and, you know, go at it again. So just keep that in mind. It's the same energy. That's the same energy. You get knocked down, you just get back up. And you get knocked down, you get back up. And so as the stuff comes in and shows you, like, the parts of yourself that are impatient, angry, resentful, just allow them to help you purge that energy out so you can let it go, so that you don't carry that forth. You can let it go. So anyways, that's, you know, don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on others. Don't take things personally. And, you know, there's so many people that think like this. The best thing is just pushing people away and being, you know, fuck you to everybody. I wasn't like that to my daughters. I just set a boundary. I just said, I'm done being in conversations I'm not welcome in. You know, if I can't just be myself and I have to sit there and, you know, oh, am I saying the wrong thing? Am I saying the right thing? You know, no, I'm just not going to do it. So, you know, that's fine. Send me baby pictures, whatever, but I'm not going to sit here and have conversations where I'm constantly being told that something's wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. If you think something's wrong with me, that's coming from inside of you. And for you to constantly tell me is, you know, I just don't have to listen. I don't have to sit here. If you want to sit there and tell me all the time that you think something's wrong with me, I don't have to sit and listen to it. You know, that doesn't mean that I'm saying I'm not going to have anything to do with them. I'm never going to, you know, I'm not going to go spend all my time and money. I said I'll come and visit when I have a camper, when I have a way, you know, to take care or get a room or something. I don't want to go and stay in places I'm not welcome. I don't want to have conversations with people I'm not welcome. You know, I'm just, I can feel it and I don't want to do it. And I'm not going to say like they're wrong. You know, I can see as healing that you don't hold on to resentment and anger and stuff. Yeah, people still irritate you. But, you know, I just don't think that you need to be telling somebody all the time that they need to change in order to please you. That is crossing the line, and I'm not going to do it. And if somebody needs me to change in order to spend time with me, then don't spend time with me. That's fine, you know. I'm going to go out and figure out my own life. You know, I'm going to start getting this place ready to rent, and I don't know, like, I'm still free falling. I don't know, you know, where I'm going to land. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm waiting just like everybody else to see the energy I'm putting out. You know, I've got to see how it comes back and hits me. So, you know, I don't know. We'll just see how it all plays out. Like, that's all we can do. And, you know, this week, hopefully it will be impactful. Hopefully we will start seeing some things that will start showing up, you know. God damn, just censorship to be lifted would be such a blessing to me. I swear to God, I would just make my day, just even if it is spending all day just having to delete or block out hateful people, you know, off my account, then at least, I don't know, it's just something with the energy. I just feels blocked. It's like all this energy pushing me to go and do this, then it just keeps being blocked, and it just is like, so when that releases, it's gonna be like, it's gonna just feel so good. So anyways, just you know, all the things I already said. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.